Instagram and Facebook. And
We're live.
Are we? What does that mean exactly? Does it mean people are actually watching?
Well, I mean, we still have like 3 minutes, right?
It's like YouTube says we're live.
YouTube says we're live.
So we are recording.
Oh, okay.
Well, we're gonna take a couple seconds here, folks. Welcome if you are tuning in already, but we're a couple minutes early on starting our live feed just to
Make sure
everybody gets the notification and tunes in. This is our first time doing this, so excuse any technical gaffes.
Yeah, we're still working it all out. Audio.
I don't know what this guy's doing.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Do you realize
No.
we're gonna be drinking that?
Wow.
Well,
People don't know.
Well, we do have comments turned on, guys. We've got a couple laptops just off camera. Ben's got one down there. We've got another one over here. So we're going to try to keep track of the comments as we go and try to respond to as many as we can. Hopefully, we're going to get through this as we would with a normal review. But of course, since we're doing this live, it's going to be a little different. We'll get a little bit into the details of how we're going to run this in a couple minutes, but like we said, we're a little early. So hop on the chat. We'll maybe answer a couple questions here, and at exactly 4:30, we will do a little bit of a reset. And
Dylan's
clearly
cleansing
some of us can't wait.
Dylan's cleansing his palate.
We're beginning, right? We're beginning.
You guys see what he's drinking? Why don't you show the camera what you're warming up with there? That's crazy talk right there.
Come on, cheers.
Right out
It's for the craft.
right.
Yeah.
Okay. What do we got? 1 minute till 4:30 PST.
Is that
Yeah.
the bar you're at? So here's a question we get a lot from Billy.
Oh, are we going right out of the gate with
Well, no,
that?
we have a couple minutes.
We got one
All right.
more minute.
Let's answer Billy's question.
It's
Matter.
water. This is
Are you a
water.
butcher?
Are you an actual butcher, Ben?
Only of the English language. No, I am not a butcher of meat or fish. Right?
Or people.
Or people.
Oh man.
It's also comments. Yeah, I was actually visiting the Orange County area about a week ago, I think. So I did see some of you guys. Thanks for the shout out.
Yeah, somebody commented here, right?
Yeah.
Who was that? Calvin?
Yeah.
All right.
Good to see you again, man. Thanks for joining.
So Devin, we do reference Temecula. I have not Thompson and Twain. No, so you're gonna have to post up on our YouTube comment. The chat will probably fly by too quickly, but post up a comment and tell us more about it if it's something we need to check out.
Or get on Instagram,
Yeah,
or
the
Facebook,
Instagrams.
and send a message.
4:30, guys.
Oh, it's time. It's time. All right, guys.
Actually-
Officially 4:30. We have about 62 people in the on the live stream already. That's
Nice.
awesome. I'm sure more of you will trickle in as we go. But this is our first ever live episode. Because we have no idea what's going to happen, we'll give a quick disclaimer that if you are under the legal drinking age, wherever you are, you should just turn this off. It's not worth watching. Even if you are of the legal drinking age, you should probably turn it off too.
Yeah.
Because we have no idea
How this is gonna get.
Yeah, literally. There's a lot of editing that takes place.
I know.
A lot.
And that's being conservative.
Yeah. So I mentioned this right before we got started here, right as we were kind of giving some time for people to join in, that we do have a couple laptops up just off camera on either side there. Ben's looking at one. We got another one over here. So we'll do our best to respond to comments. But just so you guys know, we're going to go through this in our normal review format. And at the end of each section, so at the end of our aroma discussion, we'll pause for a little bit. We'll look over the comments and try to pull out a couple of comments from you guys if it's about the topic of aroma and bring them to everybody to talk about a little bit. Also, at the very end, we're going to stick around maybe for 5 to 10 minutes and have a informal Q&A with whoever's still in the comments at that point.
So I want to give a shout out real quick to Harrier J on Instagram, Jason. Hey, you are awesome for printing your own scorecard and scoring along with us. So thank you for that. And if you want to score along with us while we review this, I appreciate it. That was
The
awesome.
Linux cat.
Oh, the Linux cat.
Linux
Linux.
Linux.
Thank you.
Say it appropriate. Say it
Yeah,
right.
Linus
Right.
Torvalds says it's Linux. So
Yeah.
Linux cat,
Yeah.
good shout out. He's a long time. I hope it's a long time commenter. So thank you for that. So.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
All right, guys. So the reason we chose this today is because
Well, hold on. First, dude, happy National Bourbon Day.
Happy
guys.
National Bourbon Day.
Yeah, that's why we're doing this.
it's already going off the rails.
I know.
We're totally
We
on.
should introduce ourselves. I'm
All
Dutch.
right, I'm Jules.
Dylan.
I'm Ben Richards, the butcher of Bakersfield, live from no.
I'm
Sorry.
from New York,
New York.
Yeah, wrong show.
Pacific time.
All right.
But we are reviewing for the first time here Wild Turkey 101. This is, it's just a super popular bourbon. I think everybody in the bourbon community, there are people that are Wild Turkey nuts, and there are people that just think it's good and awesome, but don't go absolutely crazy for it. And we've been wanting to review it for a while.
Does this constitute a nut?
Yeah, maybe. But a little fun fact here. We have episodes that we filmed in the past that didn't make the cut for whatever reason. We had lighting issues. Maybe we just weren't making sense. Anything. There's a lot of reasons why we don't end up releasing certain videos. But we've actually reviewed the Master's Keep, 17-year and the Decades.
That's right.
Right.
Both of them were total failures from a video point of view. So maybe eventually we'll come back to those. But this is officially now our first review of a Wild Turkey product. So exciting.
Yeah. And thanks for joining us.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us, guys. I'm going to go ahead and start talking about this. And so Wild Turkey 101, this is kind of their second tier, maybe above their regular 80 proof offering. It's changed over the years. In the past, they've had age stated versions of it. The current iteration of it is not age stated. It just says that it's aged longer, whatever that means. And it is, well known as being a higher rye bourbon. Like I said, a fan favorite, and I've run out of things to say about it. So Dylan,
already.
Yeah. Go ahead. And by the way, guys, just one other quick note. Obviously, we're not going to have our scores posted up underneath us. So you're just going to have to
sophisticated
if you
yet.
even care, you can take notes, but don't take notes.
All right, so finally, all right, let's go. This is Campari Group, Wild Turkey, mash bill 75 corn, 13 rye, 12 malted barley. The cask is really interesting because they use really the heaviest char. So I think I asked you about this last time when we were reviewing a Wild Turkey, which will never be released. What do you think about how they used to do the shosugiban? How they used to, they used to do the alligator char to protect, the wood, right? And so they actually use that technique for bourbon.
Wait,
and yet
they charred it with an alligator?
No,
I don't know what it means.
Shosugiban. You don't know what that is?
How about Google?
So what they do is they burn wood to protect it from water, right? And so and yet they use that to age this bourbon. So it's really kind of always interesting. They use a heavy char, number 4 or possibly 5. They blend 6 to 7 to 8-year-old bourbons. The proof is a 101, which is great. Retail price $23.
Yeah.
We paid.
Ben got this.
I think it's like $21, $20.
All right.
It wasn't much.
So fun facts. This is the flagship brand. It's actually distilled at very low proof to get more of the barrel flavor. It comes out of the barrel about 109, 110 proof, and then so it's diluted just a little bit to get it down. And just a quick thing about Wild Turkey. Jimmy Russell is still the longest working master distiller with like 60 plus years of experience, and he's considered the Buddha of bourbon. And I just want to say I have this thing right here. This was given to me by Eddie Russell. He's like, just handed it to me. All right. Right. Yeah. So Eddie Russell's like, here, have one.
That's right.
Right. So, this goes back, right? We've had this for a long, I've I've tried this
Yeah.
many times.
Well, this was a strong contender for me for our $20 show.
right.
If you guys remember back then, it didn't make the cut for me ultimately, but it was a strong contender. Quick shout out here, guys. Steven Smith did a super chat.
Oh,
Wow.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Steven Smith.
Thanks, Steven.
Cheers.
are we drinking yet?
No, cheers to him, not us.
All right, well, let's get into this. Before we do, Jules, we'll give everybody our scoring criteria in case you don't know it.
All right. So if you're new to the Bourbon Guild, welcome. Thank you for joining us. We do have a 10-point grading system. We give 2 points for its aroma or the nose, 3 points for its complexity of flavors, 2 points for how drinkable it is, 3 points for uniqueness, and a bonus point for value. So for us, typically, we define value as its availability and price point.
All right. So now normally when we get into our tasting, we cut like 99% of that out. So this may hopefully it's not
Right.
boring.
Right.
So
for
the other
this-
thing is we usually don't discuss it while we're tasting.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of because we get into our scores and we all want to be surprised by what we all scored.
Well, we can do that.
So we may not discuss it directly, but we will start tasting it and scoring it, and you guys will try to respond
And
to
if
some
y'all want
questions.
Sorry. And if you all want to score at home, it's 2-3-2-3-1. So quickly. So out of 2, out of 3, out of 2, out of 3, out of 1.
Oh wow, we just got another. You know what we should start doing for these super chats?
Yeah.
And I was originally going to say that this would just be whenever Ben says something awesome, but
Oh! in lieu of no post-production.
we can't put that sound
That is awesome.
effect. He didn't know I was
I'm
gonna-
going to wear that around my neck. That's great.
But anyway,
Love it.
Thank you.
Gabriel gave us another super chat. So cheers,
Nice.
Gabe.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I guess forgive us in advance for all the sniffing noises y'all hear.
Right?
Well, so Jules, do
And
you want to
snorting.
do you want to do the turkey sound?
You got.
He's very good. He's very good.
We did work on our turkey sounds.
Yeah.
I didn't know you could do that. I wish we could cut that out.
I know. This is exactly the stuff we cut out.
No, we used to do that like 20 years ago, right?
Yeah.
All
Walk
the
around.
time.
Yeah, this. I always feel like wild turkey has a very distinctive nose.
Mhm. Yeah, I agree with you.
You know,
I know.
how many gobbles for legendary Linux cat acts?
Ooh.
It's going to take 9.5 gobbles to get us a legendary, I think. By the way, anybody on the comments, how does our audio sound? We're new to this, so if you're having trouble hearing us, please post a comment. But if
We'll try to fix it.
we'll try, I don't
I
know.
don't know if we can
Yeah,
at this point, but
All right, Donovan says it's pretty good.
cool.
Dutch,
All right.
he said Dutch has, J-Ben0, Dutch has no distinctive nose.
That's about
That is
That's
pretty
about right.
accurate, man.
That's about right.
That's
Yeah.
about right.
Must be a long-time watcher of the Bourbon Guild. Okay.
Yes,
That's on brand.
nose stuff.
Can you hear the sniffing? Like, does that come through?
Well, the other thing I think some people don't realize is we do take
Yeah, we do
Time.
spend time.
letting it open up, and we've been criticized, I think, for scoring too quickly sometimes.
Yeah. Some people take time.
Some people take time. This guy goes gobble gobble.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. Okay.
So did anyone do a water drop?
I didn't. I don't think.
Mm-mm.
I don't think it needs it.
Yeah, I don't think.
I don't think it needs it.
So, we met Eddie Russell, right?
Yeah.
What's your favorite Kurt Russell movie?
Oh. Well, I know what
that's
yours
easy.
is. I know what yours is.
Wait,
but,
hold on. Oh, Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh,
you
that's
took
it.
mine. You took mine.
Well, how is it taking yours if it's the best Kurt Russell movie ever
It's
made?
true. I
I'm
agree.
sorry.
I agree.
I'm sorry.
Big
Tombstone.
Trouble.
Tombstone.
Oh.
Tombstone is the best Val Kilmer movie. Not
Yeah,
necessarily
that's
the
true.
best Kurt
No, no,
Russell.
Look at that.
All right,
You
what-
guys-
You guys don't know.
Look
what
at
it
this.
is.
Jules,
Look at
Jules,
it.
Jules.
Douglas and Brett both said Tombstone. I think I won.
Man.
No,
what?
All right, Jules.
Overboard. If you guys know anything about movies,
Hey, you know who just said?
you would recognize Overboard as the
I'm
best.
sorry, guys. We gotta make sure that we get Gilbert here. Tango and Cash.
Oh,
Tango and Cash. Okay,
Tango,
Tango and
Cash,
Cash.
Tango,
Yeah,
Cash,
I'll
Cash,
choose
Tango.
That
Oh,
is,
yeah.
oh, yes.
Cheers.
Jack Palance in Tango and Cash.
That's true.
As the bad
That's
guy,
true.
you can't beat that. You cannot beat Jack Palance.
Was Terry Hatcher
Tango and
was in that, right?
Cash.
Terry
Cash
Hatcher.
and Tango. They dancing.
And I really love that car.
That's what we usually.
What, the
get.
big old
Machine
truck?
gun. Yeah, I love that machine gun.
Uh,
Oh, somebody said Captain. Britt Hubbard, Captain Ron. Yeah,
that's true.
style points for that.
Yeah,
one.
Captain
okay.
Ron. That's true.
All right, yeah, I'm going with that.
Oh man.
Back to the bourbon.
Back to the bourbon. I know it's like
No, but
I gotta score this, right?
I mean, every time I drink this, I feel like I need to pair it with something. I'm gonna ask you guys that. Think about it.
Yeah.
But this goes way back, right? I mean, this is.
Yeah. Oh, Stitch in Time, Hateful Eight. Forgot about that.
Oh yeah.
That's a good call.
Oh man.
Good call. So
I
one of these
think
days.
Kurt Russell's.
Oh wait. Executive decision.
Oh,
Steven Seagal.
Yes.
Yes,
That's the only time I've cheered in a movie theater is when Steven Seagal like took the
First
dirt
5
nap,
minute.
dirt nap out the airplane.
Go.
Oh, it's great.
Spoiler alert.
Oh,
Yeah,
Oops. Oh, come on. No, just for that. Hilarious.
I have a
man.
score. Who has a score?
I'm close.
All right.
I'm giving it another second here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gabriel Berkey, I apologize for butchering names because I can't. That's
He
I'm
is
the
the
butcher
butcher.
of I'm the butcher of YouTube comments. Bone Tomahawk is awesome. It's a good kind of. It really didn't get a lot of traction in the theaters, but man, it's a good like weird ass western. Like it was, I really enjoyed it. So I saw it on. I think I rented it on a streaming or something, but it was really decent. So that was good. Let's see what else. Do we smoke cigars? I do not. I don't smoke anything. I don't smoke weed, cigarettes. I used to smoke cigarettes. I don't anymore. I do not smoke cigars. They do.
I thought you went through a turn with crayons.
It was glue.
That was
Oh,
huffing.
glue.
That was huffing. I didn't light them. I just
Wow.
yeah.
All right, guys. You guys ready to talk about this?
I'm ready to go.
Let me do my math.
I think I'm ready. I'm okay with my score. I'm sure somebody's gonna yell at me, but it's okay. That's what we're here for.
I want to hear this then.
All right. And how are you all doing? You guys got some scores?
Yeah, if you guys
Yeah,
have
I got my
scores-
score.
I'm ready.
You guys
All
got
right,
ready to go.
Jason's got his score ready and is surprised. Yeah, let's get back to the bourbon. All right, who wants to go first? In our first ever
Sure.
live.
First ever live reveal.
7.5.
Oh,
Wow.
okay.
Done.
7.5.
Wow. Look at
Not
that.
that far off. 7.0 though.
7.0.
Wow.
Nice.
It's really one of
All
those
right.
shows.
Yeah, let's
We
talk
were
about
like-
this.
This
That
is rare.
actually-
This is rare. We're all
All
really
right,
close.
but before we start, what would you pair this with?
Anything that needs pepper.
Okay.
Like a steak would be great
Yeah,
with
the
this.
steak, any kind of meat would be awesome with this. That's what I would pair with it.
Pork shoulder. This is
Why did
pork
we said any meat?
shoulder.
Pork
I mean,
shoulder
pulled
specifically.
pork. Think
Oh,
about
yeah,
pulled pork with that barbecue sauce, and then pair it with this. I mean, this is perfect.
I
Every
think-
time I think about
Well,
Wild
the great-
Turkey 101, I think of pork.
The great thing is this can stand up to almost anything.
Yeah.
It can stand up to a barbecue. Like
Oh,
it's
yeah.
a
This is the
Strong flavor.
like barbecue sauce and this. I mean, you should just eat like barbecue chips and this. I mean, this.
oh,
Oh, Chad.
Wow.
Super chat. National Bourbon Day.
Nice.
Cheers, Chad.
Cheers.
Thank you. National
Cheers.
Bourbon
I'm
Day.
going to-
Cheers.
I'm going to go with like a roasted barbecue chicken,
Mm.
but also the barbecue pork. There's a
makes sense.
spice to wild turkey, but also where I think it goes well with pork is call me nuts, astute viewers, but there is something I always get from wild turkey, and that is like a maraschino cherry, like a cherry, maraschino cherry. And I don't know what it is about wild turkey, but I always get like a cherry sweetness. And I think that with like a roasted pork butt or even barbecue, even with a spicy sauce, yeah, totally on.
Yeah, it's bright.
For sure.
I mean, the
Yes.
thing is,
Yeah.
this is about like the white meat, right? It's it's bright. You want that. I don't want to call it a peat, but it's just on that borderline, and that just brings out a lot of this like white meat flavor, the pork, the chicken, all of those kind of things. So I really like it.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. I mean it can stand up to those sweeter flavors and the peppery. I mean the pepper comes through, and like that's what I'm saying. Anything that you would put pepper on, I feel like this could work with it.
Yeah.
It can just stand up to anything.
No, it's true.
All right, so let's kick things off with Aroma. So Aroma's out of 2 points. I'll go first since my Aroma scores are always very low, but I give it a 1. It's
Wow.
it's very flavorful, but it's
One.
a little bit like hard to discern individual flavors for me.
Yeah.
I got a lot of the pepper. I got a real hint of this, a hint of sweetness, but I couldn't pick out much more nuance beyond that. So 1-1.
Yeah, no,
Let's
one-
get our scores real quick. Sorry.
Yeah.
1-1. What'd you give it?
1.5. 1.5. I mean, all right.
I'm not surprised by their scores.
Yeah, I mean, like I just want to say, like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
But
We
go
know.
ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I said my piece. Do you have anything to add?
No, I mean, you were right on it for me. I think a lot of it fell just too like a mixed bag of different flavors. So I really couldn't discern stuff. I mean, the sweetness was there. I did get a lot of the cherry that you're talking about, but yeah, beyond that, like that's it. Everything else felt very muted. So
No, Wild Turkey is really distinct, right? And I mean, it's the best way I can describe this bright. It's really bright. There's like, it's almost like raw fruit, right? So I always think about some of the Buffalo Trace collection, like the Stag Junior. I think about rich, like stewed fruits. This is more just raw, like biting into a ripe fruit without cooking it down. I get all of the flavor.
The thing is the pepper. It's like you bit into a black peppercorn and then you ate a piece of fruit.
yeah,
I think a 1 is a disservice.
Yeah, I don't know what you're
I think
talking about.
you're doing a disservice.
It's apple. It's apple. It's like this. It's like gnawing on like this mild piece of wood. It's almost like pine sometimes.
I'm always talking about eating wood.
Yeah, it's like apple that would. It's a little bit of sugar. It's not the caramel. It's more sugar.
It's not caramel.
Yeah,
Right?
No,
It's that sweetness. That's why I like it. I think there are other iterations of this mash bill that I would say get the 2.0. So it's not quite perfect because a little bit of that burn and things like that. But
There's a little harshness to it.
yeah,
It's
a
not
little
perfect,
bit,
yeah.
but it's great.
You can tell it's there. That's what.
Yeah.
I think you guys are doing a disservice with a 1. I think 1.5 is reasonable.
Yeah,
It's not perfect, but man,
Well,
1 is.
Well, guys, Jason scored it with a 1 aroma also. So I think
All
we're
right,
vindicated
well,
here.
Jason.
Exactly.
Hey, all right.
Thank you,
I defer to
Jason.
Jason.
Oh
Okay.
man, I don't
All
know.
right.
let's do it.
So we're at the end of aroma here. So We'll take a quick look at the chat, see if anybody had anything to say about aroma. We did mention Jason there. Anybody else have any thoughts on aroma on this?
I want to
I wanna
comment
know about
on.
the
Wait,
food.
I want to comment on what Alan Ben just said because
Yeah.
I think we're going to get to this to drinkability, but it kind of does play into aroma. I think for the proof, he said I don't find the harshness. I agree. Like I'm sitting here sipping this, but sniffing it, this does not smell.
Yeah.
Well,
And Douglas says, the aroma is light and fruity. I completely agree. It's light. It's bright. That's
Yeah.
what's amazing about Wild Turkey 101. That's what's amazing.
This is pleasing. It's
too
not a
light.
1.
It's
too
great.
light.
I
It's
think
not
you
that
guys
light.
are. I think you guys are biased once again.
Agree to disagree.
Yeah.
Okay, so by the way, guys, Jim just created a live drinking game. Not that we would encourage that, but if you want to listen to Jim,
Oh God!
What
a
he said
car
was-
analogy?
he said, we drink when Ben gives a car analogy and Dylan says stewed.
We cannot condone. Hold on, we can't condone when he
true.
says stewed fruit because
So
somebody's
true.
going to the hospital. That is
yeah.
So true.
We're always looking for stewed fruit, right? I mean, that's
Yes.
what we're. That's what I love. That's
That's a
why
great
we drink
comment.
bourbon.
No.
Stewed fruit.
That's a
Okay,
good-
guys,
Oh, wow.
let's
Okay.
keep it moving because
Yeah.
otherwise this is going to be like a 6-hour review. Look at that. Look who's reaching for a little more.
Whoa!
Whoa.
Second more.
Moving on to
After all that
complexity.
white dog.
Moving on to complexity. So complexity is out of 3 points.
3 points.
Let's get our scores before we start talking about it. That was my bad.
Start on that end.
I gave it a 1.5.
I give it a 2 out of 3.
Give it 2.
1.5.
Wow. Wow.
And now we're inside out.
I'd like to know why. Because that you're telling me that it's good, but it's on par with others, right? On par with kind of an average bourbon.
Yeah.
So, okay, this is the reason is that
Explain yourself.
the pepper, it kind of overpowers things. I mean, I can get the sweetness, I get the pepper, but any of that fruit that you might pick up on the nose, to me, in the palate is washed out a bit by the pepper. And the only thing that lingers for me on the palate is the pepper.
Really?
Do you ever get tired of your weakness?
I'm not strong enough to know.
I mean, like, really? You're overwhelmed by pepper? Seriously?
Okay, you want a car analogy? Dylan just Bigfoot monster truck right over Dutch's face. Wow.
I mean, seriously.
Holy.
You don't use pepper like on like eggs or
I don't
breakfast
put it in my
because-
bourbon.
Wow. I mean, this is really sad.
It's a good flavor, but it's hard to tease out individual flavors.
Mommy, I'm so
Nah, hold on.
worried about Pepper.
Well,
I'm coming to his
let's hear
defense.
Ben's
Hold on,
since
I'm
he's
coming to his
the same
defense
score.
because I gave it the same
Yeah,
score.
thanks, Ben. Let's hear it.
No, it's pleasing, but this is complexity. We're not only complexity. I don't think it's complex. I think there's flavors
Wow.
there. I don't get depth. I get a hit of enjoyment. It's not nuanced or layered. Don't shake your head at me. I can see the turkey wobbling.
No.
I can see the turkey wobbling. How dare you? How dare you?
I think your score is biased because you're tainted by all of this like nonsense.
You're tainted.
Wild Turkey 101 has been successful because their mash bill brings out this very, very unique flavor, right? And it's the bright fruit. It's that ripe but not stewed fruit. You get a lot of that apple, a little bit of that citrus. You get a lot of that oak.
I was getting peach.
And you're getting a lot of
Really
that.
good,
I mean,
yeah.
it's not like cooked jam peach,
no.
but it's like biting into a ripe
it,
peach.
yeah,
And so that brings in the complexity. I mean, like
Okay, but
relatively speaking, though.
Dutch, can I go to the next? I need to go to the next category.
Well,
Well,
no, because
because
this
we're
is important.
talking
We haven't
about
heard from.
complexity.
We haven't heard from.
Well, no, I was the same score as
Yeah,
Dylan.
yeah,
So 2
yeah,
out
go
of
ahead.
3. And yeah, I mean, and the biggest marks for it, where I think it's definitely above middle of the road, is because like not only with the fruit sensations I was getting, but the finish of it was really nice. It
No, but-
lingered very well.
I don't think it lingers. And
really,
Douglas just said exactly what I was thinking. It hits you and then leaves.
I don't know.
I get that.
No,
hit,
that's
but then
thank you,
falls off.
Douglas. No, that's exactly right.
Yeah,
It
it's
hits
not
and
bad.
it's not
Well,
lingering.
I would say
It's not bad.
that's the reason. I think that is the drinkability. I think that the
Well, those kind of.
It's
Yeah.
okay. So can I move on, please?
Do we have a choice? Go, Ben. Go for it.
All right, go, Ben.
If you, I'm not Dylan. Sorry,
Turkey
not
Dylan,
Mr.
Turkey
Dylan. Mr. Dylan isn't here. Dylan, you gave it that score and you gave us that argument and that justification. Why is your drinkability a 1?
I'll
A
tell you.
1.
I'll tell you why. It's to trick you because it's actually going to be 1.5.
All right, 1.5.
1.5.
1.5.
Look at that unanimity.
All right.
Unanimity.
Where's the
Somebody make the noise.
unanimity? So we all agree. Move on. Let's move on. No,
Okay,
let's
well
go.
then he
Well,
just shut.
so
He
why
just
isn't
shut
it
down my
perfect?
argument by
Wait.
bringing up the score.
Yeah, why isn't it perfect for you guys? Though?
It is spicy. I mean,
know.
it's close. I like it. I like.
You know
this
why it's not
flavor.
perfect? Exactly what we were just talking about. It goes away, and it's sippable, but it just there's something where I mean, look, drinkability. It's almost gone. I'm enjoying it.
I mean,
but
I'm on my second.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
thanks.
wait, why didn't you
Thanks,
give it a
buddy.
2 then?
Because
Yeah.
relatively speaking, with all kind of the lineup, if you look at all of the Wild Turkey, I mean, the ones that all of the reviews that we lost, I mean, those I would say deserve a 2. I mean, there are certain aspects of the flavor profile that is, slightly unrefined, and that's the reason why it's not completely perfect.
Yeah.
But this, I think you're biased because this is so prevalent, and I think you take it for granted. I mean, I get after this, you're gonna go drink your apple martinis and your
It's
peach
called an apple.
lambic,
It's called an appletini.
your peach lambic or whatever you guys
Tequila
drink or
Daisy.
whatever. Yeah, but boy, I mean, this is something that I think we've forgotten and I think we've taken for granted. But this is a great sipping.
You make a
bourbon.
very good point.
We all agree.
In all seriousness,
I-
in all seriousness, that is a very good point.
Yeah.
A lot of people see this in the CVS drugstore.
Yeah.
Or
It's everywhere.
your gas station that carries, I don't know, whatever like local store that carries booze that's a drugstore or corner liquor store.
Right.
This will be on a shelf. Probably under, next to the Old Crow or other like just bargain, bottom shelf bourbons. And this does get passed over.
Yeah.
And that's why I like our $20 show. And that's why I like a lot of what we do. This is a good bourbon. I don't think 1.5 is a disservice.
So no,
Yeah, I agree.
Mike 2525. Thank you. So I would agree that the other ones, there are other versions of this mash bill that is slightly I think better in terms of drinkability. So that's why it's not perfect.
Yeah.
But I think they're a little biased.
Let's get to a couple of comments because we
Yeah.
skipped over that. Because
Yeah.
I want to comment real quick on Douglas
drinkability.
Shadler. I'm with you on the Evan Williams.
Yeah.
I was last year on a trip and I grabbed a bottle at the grocery store of Evan Williams, $11-12.
Yeah.
You know, the little 750, and I sipped on it, and it's, you know what? That is grand.
So just to cap off drinkability here, so Helen and Jason both scored it as a 1.5 as well.
Then they're right.
Awesome. And then
They're correct.
I think it was Douglas said, I'll drink this all day. It's cheap, so my drinkability is the max. So we got a 2.0 there.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Anybody,
Yeah.
any other? So, yeah.
No,
Cool.
I mean it's amazing because I think
Awesome,
it is. Oh, I love this one. Biting an oak stick. Thank you. Another person who kind of envisions eating or biting wood and getting that flavor profile. So thank you.
I stand corrected. There's more
You're
than one.
not alone, Dylan.
Thank you. I feel like it's lonely here up at
Lonely at the top.
Lonely at the top.
Wow.
So Linux
Wow.
Cat chimed in, also a 2.0 for drinkability.
Wow.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Fair enough.
That's
Okay,
We
good, guys.
respect Linux Cat.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I for sure. And also,
Absolutely.
I mean, mine's it's a strong 1.5. If we got granular, I'd probably be a 1.75. There's just, you know, there's something to what you said about being taken for granted at this, but this is good. It's just I'm not going to reach for it every day, and it's definitely something I'd have to be in the mood for. It's drinkable. Look,
Yeah,
It's
you have to be in the
fruit.
mood.
I'm not on class 2 like
fruit.
White Dog McGee here, but I'm doing okay.
Okay, guys, let's get on to uniqueness, our most nebulous category. It is out of 3 points. I give it a 2.
Oh my god.
Can
Two.
I have the bottle,
Two.
please?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Who else gives it 2? Ben?
Two.
Hold on.
He's waiting. Oh, he's waiting to toast us.
Waiting to exhale.
Jeez, really?
We're
talking about good movies.
2.
All right. So
I feel
I'm the outlier
I
here.
feel invincible.
What did you give it?
I give it a 1.5.
Oh,
So not that far. It's just
come on.
middle of the road. I mean, I don't see how it's above middle of the road.
I'm waiting for the stream of hate.
Oh
on
yeah,
the
I'm
comment.
waiting too. I'm
well,
usually the outlier.
let's jump to a couple comments really quickly since
Yeah.
they just popped up here. So both Jason and Helen gave it a 2 as well
Okay.
for uniqueness. Jason says the high rye, high proof, high char gives a flavor profile I haven't had anywhere else, but there's unique stuff at higher.
That's a
price
fair.
points.
That's
So-
fair.
No,
That's fair.
Bring up J Ben right there. So it said, "Am I gonna put water in the glass?" So I never put water in the glass because I feel like if the distiller says this is how I'm gonna drink it, this is how I'm supposed to drink it, I drink it straight out of the bottle. I don't dilute it.
Do you want to drink it straight out of the bottle?
I mean, I would. I mean, it's
You didn't have a glass in front of you?
I don't dilute it. I
so-
don't dilute it
so
because I
to-
don't taint it.
To Jules' defense, Alan scored a 1.5. for
Hey.
uniqueness. So,
Okay.
Cheers.
You have a
Alan.
friend.
All right.
Yeah, there we
Okay.
go.
Wow.
So
You and I are the
let's
outliers.
let's talk through this a little bit. Why did we end up at the
Yeah.
scores we had? When we start?
Sure.
Yeah, please.
Chad Hawley as well.
I think it's actually for a lot of things that just got said. I mean, this is a unique flavor profile
Absolutely.
for the high
Absolutely.
rye. You know, for me, I get that pepper coupled with that sweetness. That I mean, they're just at levels that you don't get with other bourbons. And I mean, I know we factor price into the value category mainly, but for something that is out there like this, that's widely available all around the world. We had somebody comment that in the UK they're able to get this, but not any other bourbons. I mean, like that is unique. The fact
That
that this is-
subsidized my
It's
score.
amazing.
it's
That
available like
subsidized my
everywhere
score.
that any country that sells alcohol pretty much will have.
How can you get the kind of fruit profile for this price and kind of the proof? I mean, like if this was a 90 proof or, you know, like the 80 proof that you guys enjoy, I mean, I can understand like going down on some of these scores, but it's 101. I mean, it's bold enough. It brings out that flavor profile. I really think you have to step back and look at all of the bourbon that's out there. I mean, we've reviewed all the ones that have not been released,
Right.
all the stuff that we've tried. This is a cut above. This has
Did
to
you
be
just
a-
say stewed fruits again?
stewed fruits.
Probably.
Don't drink.
But seriously,
But I mean,
We'll
see,
be
it's
here
funny.
all
You guys are
day.
talking about uniqueness of flavors, but it's like that sounds like all the other flavors, though. Man.
I
The combination-
disagree.
Oh,
Spice
man.
notes, like
Disagree.
really with a high rye.
I don't know why I'm singing it, but
I
I
mean,
disagree.
come on.
It's just appalling.
It
I mean,
still feels middle of the road. I mean, it's got to
This
be
does not
above
feel
and
middle of the
beyond to
road.
get beyond.
In fact, I will fully admit my score is subsidized because the price point, the availability, this is everywhere.
Which is value.
Value.
That's
Every
value, though.
value
Hold
is
on,
value.
no,
Let me finish.
Okay. Go ahead.
Can you hit the thing? Thank you. Let me finish. Thank you. I feel that what this brings, I totally subsidized my score. This is
I'm just showing everybody the air horn.
Oh.
It's got an air horn on it.
This is a fantastic bourbon that, and where, because of the availability, the price, and the flavors, that's part of the uniqueness.
Yeah, but
And it's wild turkey. It's got the damn turkey on the label.
no,
This is an institution of bourbon on National Bourbon Day.
I think Jules needs to get new glasses because your myopia
Wow.
is appalling.
Or laser.
Comment below.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
man. All right, let's take a second. Let's go through some of the comments.
I'm-
AK Burrell just posted up their scores, and looks like they also had a 2 for uniqueness.
All right.
So, correct score according to 3 out of 4.
Score.
According to
That's
3
right.
out of 4 of us. You have some defenders, Ben. Good.
Liam Wilbur. I love Evan Williams bottle. I don't want to talk about another bourbon on this review, but I love Evan Williams bottled and bond. But I'm a huge fan of that sub 20 price point, and that's why I love this. I'm a big fan of Beam. I'm a big fan of Evan Williams bottled and bond, and you know what? That plays into my uniqueness score. The sub, well, this is about $20, but
Yeah, it does.
what you get for the damn money, this is a win out of the park.
Well, there's some.
And yeah, we'll get to value. We will get
Yeah,
to
in
value,
just a
but
second.
that's unique.
So a few comments here talking just about
Okay, sorry.
high rye bourbons in general.
Mm.
And I think it is a point to be made that there are some people out there that just do not like that high rye hit. And there are some people out there that's all they want from a bourbon.
Right.
So I think that if you are into the high rye hit, like this is a bourbon for you probably. If you really don't like that hit, then maybe it's not your cup of tea.
I don't know. It's a little bit complicated. It's a complicated question to answer because the rye can evolve in different ways.
True.
So I really do not like the medicinal rye. I think rye has this like potential to become this amazingly like complex thing after a certain year and different mash bills, etc. But then it could also fail miserably.
Well, hold on. I feel like you need to double down. Well, it's a live video, so whatever. But we're talking about. We're specifically talking about the rye grain in bourbon and not rye alcohol, rye spirits, because rye spirits do have that medicinal quality as inherently.
Right.
And I'm not a huge fan of it, but yeah, it's got some interest to it. But like, where there is some medicinal quality in bourbons from high rye bourbons that is part of that.
I think Dylan's point is the age. I mean, we know that this is a 6 to 8.
But there's a mastery to like aging a high rye bourbon to get a flavor that isn't.
But if you get the younger high ryes, like the 2 to 3 year old high rye bourbons, you're gonna get much more of that.
Yeah,
medicinally
and this doesn't
grainy
have it.
hit.
Right. So because I've tried, I told you guys that I've tried the 100% rye. I've done the micro distillers, local micro distillers who do extremely high rye, like 6 month, 1 year age stuff.
Yeah.
And you can kind of taste the evolution and where it's going to go. And so looking at that and kind of having that experience, you know what you like and what you don't.
Yeah.
And so it's a little tricky.
But I mean, that's what I said. Like this is a high rye bourbon, but it really doesn't have that medicinal hit.
It doesn't.
It gets like the pepper spice side of it.
They
but
do it
not
right.
They
do it right.
I agree. For a high rye bourbon, this is an awesome, solid choice. Okay, guys, let's move on to our final category, our bonus category for value. This is the way we kind of subsidize
I'm hesitant.
bourbons that are inexpensive and highly available. It's out of 1 point total. 1 point?
Oh, yeah.
One.
Okay.
It's
full
absolutely one.
Unanimity.
No, but
Can
this
you
is
sing the intro
He
song?
does
Or
do
do
his
like
own
the
song.
outro song?
I don't think my mouth can make that many noises simultaneously.
So yeah, totally unanimous. I mean, look, we factor in price and availability. Like we already talked about availability on this. It's pretty much available everywhere.
Well,
And price, I mean, $20. in the
Dylan and
US
I are
is-
here in the 2 Glass McGee club over here on glass number 2 of this. This is a great value for sipping, making cocktails.
Yeah.
You can bring it to a party and your idiot friend can dump Diet Coke in it.
wow.
No
that's-
offense to those
Sounds
that
like
enjoy
from,
bourbon with
personal
Diet Coke.
experience.
Yeah, that's very condescending. So
Personal experience, but Ben poured the Coke.
Wait,
It's like Mr. Pibbs or like the store brand.
Mr. Pibb.
No, the store
I
brand.
think he said Mr. Pibbs.
Mr. Pibb.
No, so look at that. So they want a car analogy. They want a car analogy with this. What would this be? Is this the Ford Taurus?
No.
This is a muscle car.
Yeah,
It's
like
a Mustang.
It's an
You know
old-
what? It's
it's
a
an
mid.
old-
This is a mid '90s Ford Mustang,
Mustang.
5-liter.
Yeah.
LX 5-liter.
That's a good.
LX notchback 5-liter.
Or is
mid
it
90s.
is it the old Chevy Impala that had the 5?
No, because that's front wheel. Wait, the rear wheel drive in the 90s or the front
Yeah,
wheel?
the 90s.
No, no,
Wait. How about
that's too rare. No, LX 5-liter Mustang.
1969 Dodge Dart?
No, that's disrespectful.
With
to Wild
the
Turkey.
Playboy stickers.
This guy had a 1969 Dodge Dart.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I don't know. I mean, that's classic.
No Ford. Okay, Chevy comparison.
Yeah, Impala SS. Hot Sauce agrees. Impala SS. That's
There
what
you
I'm
go.
talking about.
Wow.
You know, it's
Impala SS is too rare. I would say that's like Wild Turkey rare breed or
okay.
something.
All right, I see your point.
And it's also like 10 grand more than at the
Exactly.
price
This
point.
is, yeah.
Yeah, I would say Mustang, like LX 5-liter Mustang. Cheap, horsepower. You can do anything with that car. You can put a short rear end on it and take it to the drag strip. You can put, well,
Ben, you got to respond to these car analogies because they're
Oh my
coming in
God,
fast.
okay,
We got
sorry.
first gen.
Pinto, F you. That's
You know what? No.
disrespectful.
You know, I like that Chevy truck. You know what? It's like
Dependable.
It's
Honda
dependable.
Civics.
A little
Honda
bit.
Civics.
No, it's not.
How about the
Honda
first
Civic.
one?
Honda Civic SI.
No.
SI.
Honda Civic is for like Beam Suntory.
Oh, geez.
Wow, that's racist.
That's racist.
Well, we had
Wow.
also the first gen Miata.
It was nice.
First generation Miata.
Mm,
I feel like it needs to be a gas guzzler.
No, yeah, I agree.
This
I
car-
feel this
be-
has some horsepower behind
No,
it. That's
this
why I
is-
keep going like LX.
This
LX
is like
5-liter
classic Americana, right?
minivan.
Dodge. You know what?
No,
the Dodge. No, the
The
Dodge
18
Caravan
the 18
Turbo.
van.
No,
Dodge Caravan.
the Dodge Caravan Turbo van.
Yeah.
Because the Dodge actually they put a turbo 4 in one of their the Dodge minivans,
So this
whatever
is
the hell
great.
it was called.
Folks, for a live episode, you get not only a movie episode, a car episode,
Car
and a bourbon episode.
Yeah,
all
that's
in one.
true. Yeah, that's true.
All
All right,
right.
I'm done, guys. I mean,
Wow, you killed
This
two
is number
glasses.
2.
And the White Dog.
Wow.
Going for
White
number
Dog
3.
is
Third
for
time's a charm.
the White Dog is for palate cleanser. I mean,
All
it
right,
kind of
guys,
prepares.
let's get our final Bourbon Guild official
Yeah, let's
score
hear
by tallying this up. I don't think I need the calculator, but I'm scared. It's a security blanket. Ben,
I think
7.5.
Oh yeah, you know.
I can't believe I gave it an 8.
can't really.
I mean, this is amazing.
7.
So,
So there's
But
a
I do
balance.
like it. I do like Wild Turkey
Yeah.
101. I mean, that's a soft
This is
place
good.
in my heart.
and I also had a 7. So our official Bourbon Guild score for Wild Turkey 101.
Okay.
Drum roll. A 7.375. That is
Oh, yeah.
That is
fantastic.
fantastic.
That is
And
fantastic.
it makes sense.
And it sounds
It
like
makes
that's
sense.
what
I mean,
the-
make sure like people remember our scoring system. We consider a 5 an average bourbon,
Right.
Right.
and this is
Yeah.
that's
above.
really a 7. I mean, 7.375.
This is good. I mean, this is good for the price.
Yeah,
I mean,
fantastic.
I think again, it just close your eyes in your mind's eye, pulled pork, a little bit of barbecue sauce,
burnt ends.
drinking this.
Oh.
National Bourbon, burn ends.
Yeah.
That's
Burn
right.
ends.
Yeah.
National Bourbon
Amazing.
Day, Father's Day, Happy Father's Day.
Yeah.
I mean, this right there. I mean, you will enjoy.
I'm ready for a little more, guys.
You will enjoy this. This
Oh,
is
welcome.
incredible.
Second glass. It's about time.
This is number 3, guys.
Yeah.
Number 3. Cheers.
Thanks for catching. Oh, geez. Jewel, that's unwanted. I'm sorry, astute viewers. Ben Richards, the Butcher of Bakersfield, is trying to watch the language since it is a live feed and we can't edit out.
What did you say?
Nothing. I said oh geez instead of JFC.
Douglas, number 3.
A hole. Sorry.
Oh,
What? It was.
You went there anyway.
Sorry. It was. I don't curse.
All right, guys.
All right.
So if you aren't already a subscriber, please hit that subscribe button.
Please.
We're not really going to do an outro on this, but we wanted to take a little time since this is our first live, and we got, I think, about 143 of you
Nice.
in
Thank
here
you.
now.
Yeah.
We'll take a little time and do some Q&A. If anybody has any burning questions for the guild,
Yeah.
pop them onto the chat. We'll try to just kind of go through some comments. Maybe we'll do it this way, Ben. You read one, we'll respond, and I'll read one, and we'll respond. and then just see where we get.
How do we support the channel? Subscribing is
that's number
huge.
one.
Like
That's best
because
for us.
we grew to I think we're at like 7,500 subscribers, 7,600 subscribers now, and that's awesome. We really appreciate it. It shows that people are watching us, and hey, watch the video.
Hang on.
Wow, Linux Cat. Thank you.
Thanks for
Thank
coming
you.
over. Thank
Wow.
you.
I was like,
for
what's happening?
joining us?
No, but to be honest, I mean, we're doing this because after a long, horrible week of getting yelled at or yelling at people, right?
Either being the yellow,
Right.
or
We
the
wanted our guild brothers and sisters to kind of laugh and enjoy at our expense, right? I mean, we want you to just be entertained and just like connect with us and enjoy all of this with us. And so we really appreciate kind of the feedback and kind of the interaction. So I think that's just amazing for us.
Yeah. Can I take a question? Or
Go for it. Go ahead.
Hoss. I like the name. Do you plan on reviewing Garrison Brothers eventually? We met them.
We met them.
So at the if you watched our YouTube channel, we went to Vegas in October of last year, and we went to the Total Wine Whiskey on the Rocks event at Red Rock Casino. We met the master distiller at Garrison Brothers, and they are fine folks. They're very specialized, and it's about $120 for their like single barrel type bottles. So it's kind of really niche, but we tried it and we really enjoyed it. So we're gonna get there. We've just got a long list of stuff.
I was gonna say programming note. Like we get a lot of recommendations.
Yeah.
Keep them coming.
Right.
Like our list is like never ending.
Keeps
So
growing.
Well, we're
Thanks to you
also
guys.
to that end, we're also trying to do the latest releases of like the birthday bourbon. We try to get our hands on the Buffalo Trace Antique
And the heads
collection, the heads, like plus the new ones that are coming up. Like we just did New Riff. There's a lot of distilleries that are coming out. So
we got a lot of questions coming.
Thank you, Dennis.
Sorry.
Thank you, Dennis Tucker.
Let's try to get some more questions here.
Thank you, Dennis Tucker.
Who's that?
Our super.
Oh, we got another super
Linux-
chat. Did I miss it? Oh, we did. Yeah. Alex.
And Alex.
yeah.
And Dennis
Will.
Tucker and Alex. Thank
And
you very
Dennis.
much.
Thank you, Alex.
Thanks, guys. It is appreciated. So we had a question come through here from Dark Meat Chicken. Favorite Star Wars movie?
Oh, too easy.
Yeah. Does anybody disagree on this one?
What is it?
Maybe
Favorite Star Wars movie?
Star Wars.
Maybe Ben.
Empire.
Of course, Empire.
Okay.
It's got to be
Empire.
Empire.
It's got to be Empire.
Empire.
I was going to say episode
Favorite
2.
scene from Empire.
Oh.
Favorite soundtrack.
That's not
No.
true.
I know.
That's impossible.
Jeff. Did
Oh my God.
Thank you.
Jason.
Hey, Jason. Hey. All right.
Thank you, Jason. Cheers.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Jeff and Jason.
Amazing, guys.
Thank
Amazing.
you. Thank
and
you.
Jeff. Jeff, thank
I
you.
love you.
Oh, I got to take this one from
Oh,
Britt.
Victor's.
Wait, Britt Hubbard, who picked out the awesome intro music, actually Dutch composes
Composer.
and arranges all our music. So,
It's not very
yeah.
good, guys.
So thank you for saying. He needs every help.
I've been telling him to release.
He needs every bit of help to his self-esteem he can get. So that's
Yeah, I had to
very
deal
nice.
with his music for like 27
So we had a question actually. Like I think it was either how long have we known each other, or how did we meet?
Oh my god.
Do we want to get into that?
We met on Match.com.
It's been like 27 years or so.
So I think
it's been
so. Dylan and Jules and I have known each other for about 25 years.
Yeah.
it's a little long. Is it 25?
I've known
That was
Dutch
27.
for about 20 years.
Yeah, we've known each other for about 20 years, and then you met these guys maybe like 7 years ago.
7 to
Yeah.
10
Yeah.
years.
So
7 to
10
10 years ago. Yeah.
10 years ago.
It's
Yeah.
been a while. And
It's
I
been
think
a long time.
There was another question: how did this originate? It's just
Yeah.
kind of
No, well, I mean, we
Yeah,
just
I
wanted.
mean,
We just
Guess
wanted
what?
to.
We were drinking.
No. Well, we just wanted to connect with our Bourbon Gilden brothers, right? Brothers and sisters, right?
Yeah.
So, like, we just wanted to say, all right, look,
Bourbon Gilden Brothers.
yeah, Gilden brothers. Sorry, and look, this is the third
Oh,
part.
wait. I'm going to try and. Sorry.
Wait, Electric
Steve H,
Banana,
what does your
Electric
filled out
Banana.
scorecard look like? Does that show up?
Yeah, you're good. That's
That's-
a mess, dude.
That's terrible.
My handwriting is awful.
Do you
F
speak
you.
English? Hang on. I gotta respond to Electric Banana. Is Dutch a metalhead?
I always said that.
I've heard
Butthead.
Dutch play K-pop.
No. No, I would say
That's
racist.
No,
This
as
guy's
a,
living with me.
no,
so
no,
I
no.
know.
Yeah, as a Puritan, I would say, oh my goodness, he's listening to devil music again.
The answer is yes. The answer is yes, and so is Ben to some extent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
To some extent.
You like some of the weird stuff though, man.
yeah.
And Jules
Yeah,
likes
me too.
a lot of that
I've
too. So.
gone to several concerts with you guys.
Surprisingly, yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. I remember. I was there.
All right. So questions. Let's get a couple more questions in here. Some people agreeing about Empire. Let's see. I got to figure out where I am here in the chat.
Douglas Shadler.
Okay, here's a good one from Scott. I don't know about all of you guys. I know Ben has been to some, but Scott asked, "What are your guys' favorite distillery?" And can each of you pick your favorite distillery's expression to go on a blind competition? I don't know. You guys haven't been out to any, have you? Not yet.
No.
I've
Yeah,
gone to
Kentucky,
all the.
but-
You know, the thing is, I've gone to like the private micro
The
distillery.
micro.
Yeah,
I've
definitely
gone to a
micro.
lot of those because I'm interested in the minutia.
Yeah.
So I'm interested in like the process.
Is that
So
a surprise to anybody?
yeah, so I've gone to quite a bit of those, but not ones that like are readily known.
But have you guys done the?
Yeah, you guys
Bourbon
done
Trail?
the-
So,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
Yeah,
We've hit
what
a
do you guys
lot of
think?
them.
Yeah, we've been several times.
So the my favorite experience was at Four Roses, and this was like years ago, probably like, 10 years ago, before they expanded and all that. And actually, we went there not too long ago, and they had an abbreviated tour while they were expanding. I think they've reopened it now, and they have a big tour
They were under
experience. But I mean,
construction.
if you guys have watched this, you know I'm a bit of a Four Roses fanboy. So I mean, that was an awesome experience for me. That was one of the experiences that got me into bourbon. So definitely like that. Ben, did you have a
How about you,
favorite?
Ben?
I did. My favorite is Barton Distillery.
Hmm.
That was one of the first distilleries I ever visited. I remember having a bourbon ball paired with bourbon. I think it was probably 1792 for the first time. I tried their very old Barton Bottle and Bond. That was the first time we tried White Dog.
Yeah.
And it was kind of just like they hit all the notes of bourbon education. The tour guide was amazing. It's a really cool distillery. They're very nice. It's a small, it's kind of a small distillery. Like you go to Buffalo Trace, for those of you who have been, it's a monolith of a distillery. And so is Woodford. Woodford's amazing.
Yeah.
But Barton really just it really has that like kind of old school feel. And it was my favorite. Can I answer 3 questions here that came up in rapid succession?
Yeah, go ahead. Quick.
So, Matthew Goldhorn, are you guys a part of any bourbon societies? The Bourbon Guild, that's about it.
Yeah, there's only 4.
Douglas Shadler, I actually have a serious question for y'all. If you have a moment about the industry and how to get your foot in the door, if you happen to find out, please let us know.
Yeah.
We're just doing this. Where do we get the Hoss? Where do we get the Bourbon Hunter shirts? If you look on our YouTube page, or Instagram, I think there's a link to our Teespring, and you can order Bourbon Hunter. You can order the Bourbon Guild.
Yeah.
You can't order that one.
Can't order this yet.
Sorry, Jules.
Well, and the Bourbon Hunter is going to be kind of
please,
limited. It may disappear in the next couple months. So
Yeah, and we've got some other shirt ideas that are coming. So
we do want to expand that.
Yeah.
we'll
So,
keep you posted.
Cool question here from Alan. Have you guys been to the UK? I think we all have been.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Only to the airport.
Oh,
I've
really?
never been to London.
I love
No.
Really?
Dude, I've been in London, Northern Ireland.
Ireland, living in.
Oh wait, Giants Causeway. We did check that out.
That's
Well,
Ireland.
London is actually.
Oh no, you're right.
Northern
Yeah.
Ireland,
Now
man.
I'm offended. Now I'm offended. As an
You
Irishman,
offended
I'm offended.
everybody.
Okay.
Game of Thrones, come on.
Well,
All right.
I love you, Alan.
London is
Linux
actually
chat.
where I first got a bottle of Blanton's Gold,
Right.
and straight from the barrel.
Right,
So,
right.
Yeah, I just came back
Some
from
good
Denmark.
Right.
Come back from Germany.
That's not in the UK.
No. We're just talking about
Europe in
That wasn't,
general.
that wasn't the question, sir.
Linux Cat, do you guys have a list of spreadsheet of the bourbons you have reviewed with scores? Not yet. We're working on it. We'll get there.
Yeah.
We want to be able to have
kinda
it
slow
searchable
with
so
production.
that basically, even if we don't have a video review out yet, we might. Well, it'll probably have a video review title.
I think there's like 100 reviews that never got released.
There's
back.
a lot that never will see the light.
It's
of day.
ridiculous.
So here's an interesting question from Kevin. He says, in the low cost episode, I think he means the $20 show. He says, you seem to like larceny, but
No,
online
he seemed to like larceny.
Well, we picked it. And
Yeah,
Larceny,
that
yeah.
was the one.
and it says online it seems to be very divisive. Any thoughts?
It's good.
I think that it performs better in a blind taste than you would expect. Maybe.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think Larceny it's an interesting bourbon because it's a wheater and yet it has a flavor profile that it's that you would see in a rye,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So that's why I think it performs better in certain circles. But I think Larceny is considered a favorite amongst, and it actually has a cult-like following.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good bourbon, and that's why I brought it. I mean, I love wheaters and things like that. So I think it's a good bourbon, and I think you can find it everywhere. So
Yeah.
I think that's also good.
You can find it in most places.
So we got a question through Facebook just here from Max.
Oh, nice.
And Max wanted to ask if you've ever encountered Mackenzie, which is available on the coast. And made in upstate New York.
Snap.
They have a weeded bottled and bond. We have a review of that weeded
Mackenzie
bottled and bond.
Yeah.
It's already on.
It's on
Oh,
the
that's
site.
right. It is
Yeah.
already
So
on.
check it out.
However, where I first heard about or found out about Mackenzie was there's a chain liquor store called Schmebmo, rhymes with Schmebmo. Can we call it out? I don't know.
Doesn't matter. They do it all. all over the
Bevmo,
place.
whatever. Bevmo had a bottle pick of Mackenzie. It was like
Barrel
a
pick.
barrel pick of a 6.5 year wheater.
Mackenzie.
Mackenzie. What did I say? McKenna?
No,
Oh my God, I've been
McKenna.
drinking. Mackenzie, 6.5 year bottle barrel pick from Bevmo. Dark chocolate all day long wheater. That is amazing stuff.
Yeah,
I love it.
they're-
Can't say
so-
enough.
So I have the
Fantastic.
6.5. I
Yeah.
have the 6.5 and the 5
Love
and the
it.
4.5. I love Mackenzie.
Ben
Fantastic.
Sacro, what are your favorite bottles right now? If you've been watching this channel, you know my favorite, which is the Woodford Reserve Batch Proof from last year, which is the 125.8 proof. We are going to get to review the 123 this year's release, which they obviously released because they saw my plea for it, and they must be big fans of the Bourbon Guild
Yeah.
because they saw that we like that very much.
Yeah, I picked up the 123.2.
Yeah, and it's a shame Mr. Dillon isn't here because I would rub it in his face yet again about how badly he got smoked in that blind taste test between Woodford Batch Proof and Stag
Humbled.
BTAC.
Humble.
He was humbled.
Humbled.
Yes. Like I said, it's a shame he's not here that I can't tell him how bad he got his butt whipped.
Ooh. I love this. Jack Daniels Green Label. Oh god. I could sit here and talk about the arguments about Jack Daniels and Tennessee whiskeys
How much time
and
do you
all of
have?
this. I mean, seriously, like
Let's not get into it.
yeah.
So,
But in the future,
here's a good question from Nathan. It says, "Do you guys like any other spirit?" So we actually threw this
Of
out
course.
in our we filmed a second Q&A that we ended up filming it at the end of the night, and it was really bad, so it never made the cut. But we did answer this question. We're going to do another Q&A, and since this is a live Q&A, let's answer that one. Other spirits you guys are into?
Glenmorangie.
That's Scotch.
Scotch. Thank you for pronouncing it.
Yeah. Johnny Walker Gold and Up Gold Blue. I love rum. So Havana Club Maestros and 7 is dailies. Appleton 21. I love Glenfiddich.
Yeah, I was gonna say Glenfiddich.
Yeah, I love McKellen 25.
Vogue.
And the Villa, yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah, I mean those.
Can I go?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm a huge fan of the Nika coffee grain and coffee malt. I really like Irish whiskeys, the Redbreast 12, John Powers, the Powers John's Lane, which is their 12-year. Middleton, very rare. I do like tequila, but I kind of have to be in the mood for it, but I'm very big on reposados and añejos. Margaritas are great with basically you do a fresh lime squeeze, a little agave nectar, ice, and that's it.
You really don't
salt
know how to
on the
make
way.
margaritas.
And that's it.
All right.
Well, like Ben talked about like the cigar pairing, but it's Partagas Serie D4
That's all.
with Havana Club Maestro.
That's all you.
All right, Jules. Other spirits.
I mean everything that these guys listed for the most part, I am game, especially with a different cocktail. If you get the right guy.
It's like his answer to everything
I know. It's
in
just,
every episode, no matter what the topic is.
it's true, man. It's like I'm game for a lot of stuff, you know.
That's true. He does have a very wide.
Yeah.
I love the tequila. I used to be into tequila more than bourbon. So Tears of Llorona.
Tears of Llorona. Oh man,
Fantastic
Tears of
tequila.
Llorona.
I
I
think whiskey drinkers would
Like
love that
that,
if
yeah.
they ever try it.
Oh,
El
you know,
Tesoro Añejo.
El
is-
Tesoro
is
great.
great. Old
El Tesoro
Centinela.
Centinela.
Fortaleza.
Fortaleza's fantastic stuff. I'm also really into Amaros these days.
Yeah,
the bitter
that's right.
stuff.
You're more in the bitters.
It's a whole nother palate to experience. Underberg. At the end of a meal, try an Underberg. It's amazing. All right. Scrappy says the Nika coffee smelled great. Haven't tasted it
Taste
yet.
it.
Tim asks, last meal ever. What are you gonna have?
Oh,
Bone-in ribeye.
bone and ribeye,
Bone-in.
bone and ribeye, hands down.
last meal. Although, in Vegas, at Bardot
Oh, wow.
Brasserie, yeah, like the beef Wellington, amazing.
Wow.
We even met the chef. What's his name? I forgot his name.
I don't think that was the question. Ben, last meal?
Beef Wellington from Bardot Brasserie, Las Vegas, in Aria. Amazing meal.
Ben.
Last meal. It's a cross between a platter of 6 tacos, 2 al pastor, 2 lengua, 2 carne asada from
It's a tasting.
From Taco Bell.
Or
You do like the Jack in the Box monster tacos.
no, probably no. The lengua, carne asada, and al pastor tacos, like 6 each of the street style tacos, the small ones. Or probably I would have to go for like either a New York strip with like Brussels sprouts with bacon and like mac and like really like lobster mac and cheese, and then like a really good bowl of like vanilla ice cream for dessert. That's it.
Tostino's pizza.
Yeah, Tostinos. See you at the crossroads. That's right.
Oh, man.
So good.
That is.
Oh,
This is
man.
too funny, man.
All right, guys. This has been a lot of fun.
Yes.
Yeah, this has been
We
great.
do need to wind it down. We're at an hour, a little bit longer than we planned to go, but this was a
Damn.
lot of fun, guys.
Yeah.
We'll do
Happy,
this again.
happy National Bourbon Day.
Yeah, happy National Bourbon Day.
Cheers.
We do.
And we will do this.
We do hope to do this again, just so that you guys understand. We film maybe once a month, maybe once every 2 months sometimes,
Yeah.
and we film in batches. So we've already filmed a couple episodes today. We're gonna have to film a few more. So we will try to do this. I think every time we get together to film, we'll try to do a live episode.
Yeah,
We'll do our.
it's fun.
It's easy. It's a lot of fun. We'll try to do it and let you guys know in advance, obviously, so you can.
And you guys let us know too if this time worked for you.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
we
yeah,
definitely
for sure.
got a lot of viewers, more than we were expecting.
Yeah, seriously.
But let us know too what times work best. So
Yeah, guys. So there you go. Bourbon Guild.
Wait,
No. Oh, Ben. Yeah, Ben. What do you got to say?
Ben,
no matter where you are, no matter when you are, whatever, it's National Bourbon Day. Tip your bartenders because they're the ones serving you, and we're serving ourselves, but we might hit the bar later. So
Bourbon Guild
that's
app.
true.
that's right.